We are absolutely obsessed with perfect outcomes these days. But what if that exact obsession is actually sabotaging us? Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into some fascinating source material on the architecture of progress. We're going to break down why focusing on the messy, chaotic journey, rather than some flawless finish line, is literally the secret to achieving your ambitions. Oh, and, keeping your sanity intact along the way.
Think about it. Have you ever felt entirely defeated when a massive goal didn't go exactly according to your master plan? It's incredibly common, right? We set these huge ambitions, we visualize breaking through that finish line tape, and the absolute second reality deviates from that perfect vision. Boom, we feel like total failures. But the material we're analyzing today flips the script. It suggests this frustration isn't a failure of your abilities at all. Actually, it's a fundamental flaw in our underlying mindset.
So, let's dive right into the first big hurdle the text outlines, the perfection trap, and why that shiny finish line is usually just an illusion.
The source draws this brilliant, absolutely crucial contrast between two totally different ways of thinking. When we operate with a perfection mindset, we're desperately seeking this flawless final result. But, as the text points out, that almost inevitably leads to massive disappointment because, well, reality happens. In contrast, look at the progress mindset. Here, you're fueled by the journey itself. You are motivated by growing and learning along the way. Making steady progress is fundamentally so much more important than achieving some impossible picture-perfect finish.
And the whole concept is captured so beautifully in this quote right from the source. The better person we become during the course of time gives us more satisfaction than the final destination itself. Wow, that is a profound shift in how we chase our dreams. The ultimate reward isn't the trophy, it's not the promotion or crossing a big project off your to-do list. It's the upgraded, leveled up version of yourself that you literally forged in the fire of doing the daily work.
But we do have to talk about managing the unexpected. Because let's face it, external factors just aren't going to cooperate with our dreams all the time.
The source material is pretty blunt here. Assuming the world will just magically support your dream is a fast track to disappointment. Life is unpredictable. It comes with these massive, unavoidable potholes that will totally wreck a smooth ride. Sometimes, getting to where you want to go is going to take way more time and effort than you originally calculated. If your entire motivation hinges on everything going exactly right, well, that very first bump in the road is going to throw you completely off course.
Now, what's super fascinating to see mapped out is the clash between our basic natural instincts and what the text calls the balanced approach. Think about your default reaction to a derailed plan. It's usually to just stop trying, right? We throw our hands up, we beat ourselves up, and we spiral into all those self-deprecating thoughts. But the source prescribes a counter-strategy, applying discipline and implementing planning. These are your psychological counterweights. When your brain is literally screaming at you to quit, discipline and planning are the forces that step in to keep you steady and moving forward.
To actually survive these inevitable setbacks without losing all our motivation, we desperately need a paradigm shift. We have to look at redefining self-worth, which means totally detaching our personal value from that end goal. Instead of chaining your worth to crossing a finish line, the text argues we should ask ourselves completely different questions. Did I make progress today? Did I experience growth? Am I building solid habits and mental or physical strength? If the answer is yes, then you are succeeding, right then and there, regardless of whether that big, shiny final goal has been met yet. These are metrics that you actually control. You own your habits, and you definitely own your growth. And there's a huge long-term benefit the text points out here. When your mindset is anchored in process and growth, hitting a goal isn't the end of the road. It doesn't leave you sitting there feeling empty, wondering, okay, well, what now? Because your self-esteem is tied to continuous improvement, this way of thinking naturally keeps you open to way more possibilities. It essentially gives you the runway to explore what's next and just continue achieving more and more over your entire lifetime. This brings us to what I think is one of the most powerful psychological tools in the text, the time-lapse perspective. It is all about zooming way, way out on today's problems. We all know the feeling. A problem pops up today and it feels like a monumentally huge deal, like the kind of incredibly annoying issue that makes you want to pull your hair out. But the source suggests mapping this out. If we plot a daily frustration onto the vast timeline of our lives, what feels so massive today starts to really lose its significance in just a few months. And if we look back after a few years, it's entirely trivial. We realize we completely wasted our precious energy sweating the small stuff. Taking that logic, the source lays out a really practical two-step approach for the future. Step 1, you've got to have faith that unexpected events simply won't matter in a few days or months. When something inevitably goes wrong tomorrow, you have to actively trust in that exact moment that it's going to fade. Step 2, take a balanced approach to those uncontrollable situations. Use that zoomed-out perspective so you don't lose your mind over something that, frankly, is just going to be a tiny footnote in your overall journey.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a real question to chew on. What unexpected hurdle, what current frustration can you let go of today by simply trusting the process? By detaching our self-worth from perfect outcomes, by leaning on discipline instead of beating ourselves up, and by using that time-lapse trick on daily annoyances, we can entirely transform how we go after our dreams. Focus on the progress, embrace the growth, and never forget that the person you're becoming along the way, that is the real ultimate prize.